Hi, friends. This is Catherine Williams, your local Santa Clarita Realtor. And we're having a series of messages about buying real estate and buying rental units in particular. So, what do you need to do when you want to buy a place? The first thing you're going to need to do is get pre-approved from a mortgage lender so you know how much money you can spend. The next thing I would tell you is be sure to save back a minimum of $10,000. Don't spend every dollar you have buying it. As soon as you purchase the property, you may have repairs to do and you may have a vacancy. I own a number of rental units, and recently I was able to buy one that came with renters in it, and I didn't have to lift a finger. But that has not always been the case. In fact, most of the time that has not been the case. Typically, the house has either already been vacant or the family is moving out. Now, you might say, oh, all those repairs are going to get taken care of in escrow. You do get your property inspected, and the company giving you the loan is going to require certain things that have to be done. The roof cannot be leaking. I bring this up because I just sold a place. The roof was leaking, and when they flushed the toilet and it was on a raised foundation, I had no idea that the sewage was going under the floor. So the floor had to be ripped out and the pipes repaired. Those are very essential things that had to be done for the next person to get their bank loan. But if the handles are loose on the door and the hinges are off of the kitchen cabinets, that's probably not something that the lender is going to care about, but you will. And those things are going to have to get taken care of before a renter will move in. I got to warn you that you need to have some money in the bank. You better be prepared for 3 months of vacancies, because you're going to be taking perhaps a month getting the place ready, perhaps another month getting it rented. So don't expect to have instant income. Now, people ask me, when should I buy? Right now, prices are too high and interest rates are low. Is this a good time to buy? And my answer would be, you should buy when you have the money and you're ready, and not wait for the market to be perfect, because there is no perfect time. So right now, it's true, prices are high and inventory is low and interest rates are low. Well, that's great. Your interest rate will be low, and that means you can afford more house. On the other hand, if housing prices were lower and interest rates were higher, again, you could afford more house because the price would be lower. Look, there'll be years where the price goes up and years where the price goes down, but it doesn't matter because you hold on to the house. I mean, assuming that's your intent with the house. If the house goes up and you sell it, you can purchase another house of equal value. If the house goes down, you can sell it and purchase another house of equal value, because that other house also went down. All the houses tend to go up together and down together. Now, when you do want to purchase another house, you can use something called the 1031 tax deferred exchange. If you don't use this, then you will need to pay taxes in one single year on the full gain. Okay, your house may have gone up $100,000. That would not be a pleasant thing to have to pay taxes on that $100,000 gain. If you did, you wouldn't have enough money left over to purchase the next property. Well, our tax law allows us to defer that gain. So you take the money from the house you're selling and you put it directly into the next house without the money passing through your bank account, and you avoid paying that increase in the house. And the goal is to avoid paying that all the way till death. Then, that can be taken care of at that point. I recommend that you choose a house that you would be willing to move into. That was the advice my realtor gave me when I was buying some of my houses, and it's been really good advice. For one thing, you never know if there might be life changes along the way, and you might need to live in that place. Second of all, who's going to want to rent that place if you wouldn't be willing to live in it? What kind of renters are you going to get if it's something that you don't enjoy yourself? Now, the location is a very important thing to consider. Uh, you are going to have to travel out there frequently, and you need to consider how far you're willing to drive. For me, I feel like a 1 hour drive is about as much as I can tolerate. That's me personally. Another thing regarding the location is the location and the kind of house you would buy for yourself versus a renter might be different. For example, buying a very big, expensive luxury house is harder to rent. People who can afford the rent on a very expensive home are the same people who could afford to buy the home. So buying a lower income home, but that is still decent to live in, is a better way to do it, because you've got to think of the people who are renters are going to have a lower income than yourself and can't afford a very, very expensive home. So those are my tips for today on purchasing a rental property. I hope they've helped. And I want to remind you that this is Catherine Williams, your local Santa Clarita Realtor. And please reach out to me if I can be of service. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.